Wow, yes. Yeah. James Cairns, right.
Yeah.
I remember his performance. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And who played Mrs. Bumble?
Oh, that's Pam. Pam Woods and I have done a lot of roles opposite each other as either husband or wife or antagonist towards each other.
Hard-hearted, Mrs. Corney? Are you hard-hearted, ma'am?
Well, what a very curious question coming from a single man. Whatever would you want to know it for? Oh, Mr. Bumble!
It's been fun. So we've had fun.
Yes, I think there was it a song or something you did together with her? And I didn't realize she was that well endowed.
Oh yeah, that was, in fact, John Paracelli directed that. And after the first night, there was a little bit of a squeeze that I gave her. And John came up to me after the play and he says, "You're going to have to ease off on that." We had a few people in the audience mention that it was just a little bit over the top.
And just the other one that we talked about was the last play that I was in was Nonsense. And for me, again, a small cast, but a wonderful cast. But I had to learn to tap dance at 60 years old.
Tackle that temptation with the time step. Not a one step or a two step, but a time step. So step for one thing. Clean your left shoe. That's the devil of the job of the news. So tackle that temptation with a time step. Before temptation, tackle that temptation with a time step. Not a one step or a two step, but a time step. And if it's not enough, then go and talk to up the buffalo. Tackle that temptation with a time step. Before temptation's back on you. Get her out of here! You give her the one big number!
And I think that was just the neatest thing. Now, I never did get it right, but I could sure pretend like heck.
You could have it in your resume for life.
Yeah, the other memorable role, Brian, was Fiddler on the Roof as Laser Wolf. And it was memorable because I was with George. George, of course, was the fiddler.
George Pierce.
Yeah, and we had fun together because Laser, of course, had everything misconstrued, and of course the scene where he was trying to pawn off his daughter, and Laser misconstrued and thought it was the cow, and we both got drunk over it, of course, pouring the drinks. Well, it's a different kind of role playing drunk.
Yes.
You know, like Lynn mentioned doing that earlier, but it's a dual role because you're thinking about how should I act to be drunk and how can I remember my lines? Well, George and I had this scene, and at the end of the first night he said, "You know, you missed a whole section of lines." I said, "No, I couldn't have." "Yeah, you did." He said, but we covered it. You're okay." I said, "Well, really work on it, George. I'll have it for tomorrow night." Next night I come off and I said, "George," I said, "I got those lines." He said, "Yeah, you got those, but you missed some others." I said, "Sorry, George, you covered me again." I said, "We got one more chance." So I came off the third night. I said, George, I nailed it. He said, no, you didn't. But George was a pro to work with. I mentioned Glenn Fossey earlier. The two of them are very much the same in the sense that they could go with the flow.
Let's talk a little bit about your off-stage involvement. Doug, you've directed a couple of plays. How did you come to decide, okay, I want to direct something here? And what was the experience like?
The first one was an Inspector Calls. And Linda and I saw that well over in London. This was at the same time as I saw Oliver. And I thought, wouldn't that be a neat one to pull off? So I got the script and worked with it, and that's how I got involved in that first stab at directing. So then the second one was, of course, A Christmas Carol, something that I thought we should do some Dickens. And so reworked some scripts that I found, and that was fun doing that too.
Linda, you know I was going to be getting around to this. Costumes, costumes, costumes. You were the guardian, the manager, the one individual who gathered and safeguarded to overflow capacity in your basement the amazing array of costumes that North Frontenac Little Theatre has racked up throughout the years. So, behold! Look at some of these costumes, Linda, and like, for example, Andrea Dickinson was here, and she said Emily wore this in Wizard of Oz. She was Dorothy. And I was thinking, it'd be nice to have some little theater people down here and take a look at some of the costumes and pick ones that they wore for such and such an event.
Well, I'm just seeing here, this is The King and I. And The King and I alone, Nina sewed, I don't know, I know she got friends, but she sewed and sewed and sewed. I think I counted 700 pieces just for The King and I. And you can go through and start.
Well, that's the beauty of this, yeah. It's very convenient, yeah. You can reach them easily, they're on display.
Yeah, it's excellent. Excellent! I'm so happy!
Good. We were hoping this would be favorable to you. You have truly enriched us. How would you say North Frontenac Little Theatre has enriched you? Doug?
Definitely just through the friendships and the life experiences that have evolved from it. They're lifelong friendships that we have with people such as yourself and everyone else that we've become involved with. And a sense of community, I think that's big. We'll never lose that, even though we're now in a bigger community. The sense of small community that pulls together and works together and has fun together, and that stays with me probably as much as anything. The camaraderie, the good times, and a lot of memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do form bonds, don't you?
Yeah.
And you, Linda?
Yeah, I think it has to be the friendship aspect, and for me too, that friendship actually developed with children, then into teenagers, then into adults, and I love that whole process that was possible through the little theater. And yeah, I mean, we've known people now like 38 years of our lives here, and been a part of that, and that'll be there forever.
Mm-hmm.
You can take the person out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the person.
That's true.
So,
Yeah. I think it's the journey for me. It's been a wonderful journey, but I was never alone. There was always someone beside me. So
Yeah.
that's a very good feeling for me.